Radio guys, so this morning unfortunately I was playing around with all this and trying to clean up a couple of the welds and things, and actually broke a few. So what I done was I completely took it off, I grinded it all back up, I played with the welder a bit more just to get it a little bit more dialed in, and then I re-welded it all. I also added a few more tack welds on the front. We'll grind them down later anyway, so I just put a couple on each side. And then there's a few behind and stuff like that. So hopefully that shouldn't go anywhere anymore. So now what I've been working on is the next pieces to the puzzle. And what we're going to be doing is the pieces that go in there. So these pieces are those ones we just welded on, those two there. And then there's going to be a square in there, which I have just cut out. So it's 235 by 170, 2 plates of them. They're a bit hot at the moment, so I'm not going to touch them right now. But that will pretty much line up with that side, and run down to this point over here on that angle. Rightio, the next piece is on. I can't believe it's actually starting to look like something now. Not just a piece of metal on the front of a car. We've got these angle pieces on, so I've just done a couple of tacks down there, and yeah, inside and stuff like that. The next pieces to go with is the stuff inside the winch bracket here. The fair lead thing is going to sit sort of recessed into that one, so it'll be in a bit further, maybe in like 50 mil or so. That's where the fair lead will sit. There'll be a vertical piece in there, and then whatever section it is between that piece will be like a triangle sort of cutout that will fit nicely in there. Well, those pieces are both on now, tacked in place. Man, this thing's coming together pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Now keep in mind, I have never touched a welder before. This is literally the first day I've ever touched a welder. Last night my mate showed me the ropes for like 15 minutes with it, and you know, gave me a quick look, and I had a quick go of it and watched a couple of YouTube videos last night. But other than that, I have never done it before, so they might be a bit gross, I have no idea really. I've just played around with the feeder and the voltage to make them, you know, work a bit and not pop as much and stuff. And I'm just tacking it a couple of places every now and then. And Pat can do the rest, he'll sort it all out and stuff when he welds it properly. But anyway, I'm going to work on this back piece now. Oh, good morning guys, another day, another dollar without any dollars. We're going to be cutting in this straight up. Apologies again for the cicadas, they will not bugger off. But last night I showed you guys this. That's pretty much my holes where the fair lead bolts will go, and that sort of half grind out square thing is going to be the hole for the rope to come through. So it's going to be slightly larger than the fair lead, so that the rope runs on the fair lead on the nice smooth round section. And yeah, that's what we're going to be starting on now. Then tack that on and stuff, and work on the top piece, and then I get the 3mm out and make it a lot easier to cut. Half the size means half the time, hopefully. It's a decent day, it's not too hot out here. It's looking a bit overcast really, so hopefully it's not going to rain later. Even though I got the carport, so I should be pretty good. But you know, rain just never helps anything. Anyway, let's get stuck into it. Rightio, that front fair lead piece is on, all tacked up nice. I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. Now what I don't know is if I want to put a piece up here. I haven't figured that out yet. I think I'm just going to put this piece on here for now. So I'm going to go cut that out now, and we'll tack it on, and then guess what? We get to start doing the sides. Rightio, all the 6mm is done for now. We've got this bottom piece on, I just whacked on. That wasn't too bad, just do some flat welds, and there's a slight gap up here from it, but Pat will be able to fill that just by building on the welds and stuff like that. So that should look pretty good when it's done. Inside, I've decided, I spoke to Pat about it, and I'm not going to put anything here for now. Maybe down the track if I need to. I can also just take the bar off and put it on later on, but for now I want to try and get airflow and stuff up through there, so we'll see how we'll go with that. And yeah, so we're going to grab the 3mm steel now and get cracking on this top section here, and then the wings and stuff. So I think I'll probably start with the wings and then just fill it with the top, but I guess that'll come down to how I want to go about building it. We're going to have a bit of a play around trying to figure out the angles of the wing pieces. So we're going to be holding up for cardboard for a bit boring for you guys, but I thought I'd just show you and go through our thought process and things like that. Rightio, so we just cut and tacked this side piece up. I'm like it, but I kind of feel like it's too thick. I know it's stepping up there, and that's because that corner's going to get cut off and stuff, and it might make it look a little bit thinner. But I just feel like out here it's too chunky. So I'm going to leave that for a sec, just think about it and let it sit, and do this top shelf bit because I know the size of that. So I'll do that, put that all on, and then I will figure out this next section and how I'm going to sort of tackle it. I'm kind of thinking maybe I cut it on a downward angle sort of thing, and then have it flap under, because I want it to finish at this height here, so that it is in line with that fender. But yeah, we're gonna have to see how it goes. I'm just gonna workshop that one a bit. Alright, well I think that looks heaps better now. I've cut my little 45 is what I've done there, the 45 angle, and then I've cut this little section off here to make it taper up to a smaller piece. So I think that makes it look a lot better. I'm going to work out this piece under here, I think, or maybe the top. I'll have a look at that in a sec. But back here, it's a bit hard to explain. All you can really do is just watch me do it and see what happens, but I'm a bit undecided how I'm going to do all this part. I'll at least get these sides on, get the underneath done and stuff, because then it's technically, I can drive it and stuff. I probably don't even need to do that section there, like I have to do it sort of thing, so we'll see what happens. I'll get all this underneath done, get up to the top done, and see where I'm at. Well, I think something like that would look pretty cool. Just shaped around the front of it, pretty much coming up to a point, and then I reckon I will try and do something up here just to make it look a bit cooler, a bit more unique. I reckon that's it. There's my cardboard template, so let's make that out of some metal. Well, it's starting to look like a bull bar. I've got half, well, kind of half of it on. The front piece is on, the little bit underneath is on, and then I've got this the step up, I'm going to call it. So the plan is to go around and do the other side. I'm going to cut the exact same size pieces. I'm going to obviously check them first. I might make them out of cardboard first and hold them up, make sure it is symmetrical, make sure it is all good. Obviously I really want to build the bar symmetrical, but if my car is way out, then you know, obviously you don't want to have it looking a bit funny. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and do that, make that look a lot better. But this is coming along super well. I'm really happy with how it's looking. I reckon cutting that down was a massive difference. That's definitely changed the whole look of the bar, and it was definitely a good idea to do that. I'm not going to look at the sides just yet because, well, that's going to take a bit of brain work, and I might think of that whenever I am done with the rest of this section. And I can't do the top piece until I figure out what I'm doing there, because it'll determine if I, what sort of cut I do at the end here. So I'm going to hold off on that. That's going to stay like that for now, and we're going to go and hit up the other side. Alright guys, well, it's currently raining at the moment, as you can probably hear. It's 7:30 at night. I'm about to pack up. I've stopped the grinding now, so trying to be nice to the neighbours and things like that. As you can see, it doesn't look much different to what you just saw last time, but I have cut the all 3 of those bits for that side, so they're sitting over there. I'll give them a quick file in the morning and then I can just weld them. I think we've done a good day of progress. I'm pretty happy to get that sort of stuff on, and it's all downhill from now. So hopefully we have one full day tomorrow, and then Wednesday, which is the next day obviously, I'd really like to actually take it to Pat to get him to weld it so I can paint it on Thursday to then go away on Friday with it. So fingers crossed that happens. Otherwise I might take it to him on Thursday and then give it a quick lick of paint, because I'm just doing a cheap rattle can, super cheap auto, like $5 can of paint, because I'm going to do the hoops and brush bars and sliders and stuff as well. So I'd like to paint all that at the same time with like a Raptor coat or something. But anyway guys, I'm going to pack up now, and I'll see you guys in the morning. See you there. Radio, good morning guys. We are back straight into it this morning. Those pieces that I cut up last night, I've now filed up and tacked on. I still need to do this little piece here, which is what I'm about to show you now. And then, yeah, that would be our second wing almost finished. So what I've got to do now is cut this piece here, this corner off on a 45. Then the next step is probably to start focusing on the side so that I can make it legal to put the top on. So plan is today to completely finish the bar, take it to Pat tomorrow, paint it on Thursday, go away and have a mad time on Friday with the winch. So I gotta try and wire that up too. Bloody hell, forgot about that. Alright, I might be wiring that up at camp. Jeez guys, how good is that looking? Can't believe how well this is coming together actually. I mean, I have no metal fabrication skills whatsoever, and I think I'm turning out something pretty decent. This is my first time using a welder ever. Not first time using a grinder, but first time using a grinder this much. Now I'm getting pretty straight cuts with using the grinder. I can pretty much cut it and not have to clean it up at all. I just give it a quick file. Whereas before I was cutting a bit wavy and I'd have to clean it up a lot. But damn, it's coming together. Alright, time to work on these side pieces. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do here yet. I'm just going to play around with some cardboard cutouts and see if I can figure out something that'll look cool. But what I'm originally thinking is from that little corner there, or just up a little bit, I'm going to cut a straight line all the way across the guard. It's still bolted in by up here and stuff, so it should still be pretty rigid. This might be a little bit loose, but we'll see what happens, because there is a mounting point just there for it. So we'll just have to see how it goes. And some other bars and stuff for people cut up here. So a lot of other makes of cars like Hiluxes and things are smart, and they have the bumper up here sort of thing. Even the D-Max has it up there, but for some reason they decided they wanted to use this stupid design, and that's why no bars ever look decent on them, because they don't want to cut this out, or if they do cut it out, you got to cut like a full angle and cut a decent amount out. So we're going to try and get away with only cutting a bit, and cutting the bumper so that I can actually use these factory locations to mount it and keep it locked in pretty much. I'm not going to go around and cut the actual bumper up until this is completely done and roadworthy, because if I cut the bumper, then I can't just run a little bit of plastic up the top and drive it if I haven't finished the bull bar. So that the bumper's going to be 100% last. I'm going to build this all and get it welded and stuff. And then I've made this part, this shelf here, I made it about 200mm deep. The plan is to follow the shape of the bumper. So if you can see this bit here is sort of sticking out, and it's rounded. So that's why I've done 200, so that it should make it over this side. And then when it gets to here, I'll probably be cutting it off, you know, at about maybe 100, 120, 130 sort of shape. Righto, so after about an hour or so of playing around trying to figure out templates and things with cardboard, this is what I've come up with. So the piece we're going to put on the end is this little bit here. It's going to sit straight on there. I'm going to try and follow the body line a tiny bit, but keep it on that square cut. You can see those other two lines on there. I was thinking about doing some cuts and other things, a bit more fun on it. But what I think I'm going to do is just leave it for now. Leave it as this, because I just want to try and get it roadworthy this week, and be able to go full driving with it. So what I'll do is build this, and then later down the track, if I feel like it's not, you know, it's not fun enough, I can just take a grinder to it, cut it up a little bit, and change the end pieces pretty easily. They're the end pieces there and there. I've figured out what the angle will be between this front plate and the end piece. It's 130 degrees for my one. So I've cut out 4 little bits of offcuts and stuff, and pretty much what they're going to do is get welded on there and weld onto the other piece, obviously. Give it some support as well as keeping it at that 130 degrees, because, you know, when I do it with my hand, it's just going to be a bit shaky, and trying to hold that thing straight will just be like, whoa. So that's the next step. I'm going to actually weld these over here. I'm just going to weld these little bits on like that, whatever, and then we'll move it over to there and tack it up onto this. Okay, this next piece is on. We've got both of the side wings on. As you can see down there, they're all tacked up. So I started playing with this top section, and I did cut out a piece and then cut a piece off it to make it fit and all sorts of things like that. And I'm starting to realize that I'm going to have to probably have the bumper on there to get that piece perfect, to follow the body line and not just be a straight line. So what I'm going to do now is actually cut the bumper up. Now that I've determined that this will be done this week and I will be driving with it, it's okay to cut the bumper now. So I'm going to cut with more than I need. So I want to try and keep these factory locations on both sides. So that's what I'm going with. And then I'm going to cut straight through, going to go under the grill, even though I'm going to have to cut a bit of the grill off. And then, yeah, come back on the other side. So I have kind of figured out, I've cut the bumper now, but I need to sort of get this piece cut, as I want the bumper to go behind the bull bar. So I'm going to have to take the grinder to this, cut along that second line there. You can see the further one out. It's a bit of an estimate. It's about 30 mil from this front bar. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll fit, and I'll be able to slide the bumper down behind it. But I won't know till I give it a crack. So we'll start with that, see how it goes, and if I need to cut more, then I can. I'd like to get that down in there, because then I can basically work on these side pieces to the exact shape of the car, so it'd be much easier to measure and do all that sort of stuff, rather than just doing a big box and then have to try and cut it later. Rightio guys, it's about 5 PM in the afternoon. I booked in with Pat for 7 AM tomorrow to get this bull bar welded up. I still have to do these side pieces on both sides, but I just cut the bumper and sort of test fitting it at the moment, so I think it looks pretty sick. But it's about 5 o'clock. I have to be at his at 7, and I have not a lot to do, but I have a fair bit of just mathematics and just figuring out angles and trying to get those top pieces done. So this is going to be the last recap of the night. I'm going to put you guys away because the camera can take up a little bit of time trying to do stuff, and I'll show you in the morning before we head off to Pat's, or when we're at Pat's or whatever, of how it's all looking, and yeah, then you'll see it then, and we'll weld it all up and stuff like that. And then obviously that afternoon I'll probably end up like painting it or something, and then we'll test fit the car hopefully Thursday, if not Friday morning, before I go away camping. So I'll see you guys there. Bye.